Every so often a sneaker release comes along and I just think to myself, wow, that release is going to be memorable. And I think this is one of those releases. What's up everybody, I'm Seth Fowler and today I'm reviewing the upcoming Tiffany Air Force 1 Low. I hate to hype it up this much, but I think this is one of those releases that's gonna go down with like the Louis Vuitton Air Force 1s or maybe even some of the off-white sneakers. There's something about this release that I think people are gonna remember for a very long time, and it's probably the brand that Nike's collaborating with, Tiffany. The fact that they're actually collaborating with Nike on a sneaker legitimately this time around, because as we all know, the Tiffany Dunks were not actually a Tiffany collaboration. This is gonna be one of those sneakers that sneakerheads remember for decades. But before we dive any deeper into the sneaker itself, I wanna give a huge thank you to Whatnot for supporting today's video. As you guys know, Whatnot is a live auction shopping platform with sneaker sales 24 hours a day, some even starting at just $1. In fact, I might even be giving away this pair on Whatnot in an upcoming stream. Stay tuned for more information on that in later videos, but it's gonna be crazy. Speaking of things that are crazy, Lil Yachty is giving away his stage-worn Rolling Loud sneakers live on Whatnot on March 1st. In fact, the winner of the giveaway will get VIP tickets to Rolling Loud and be able to go backstage to meet Lil Yachty right after his set and get the shoes. And you might be like, oh, okay, that's cool. Well, what shoes are they? Well, the shoes are even crazier. So the shoes that Lil Yachty could wear on stage are the Undefeated 4s, the Carhartt 4s, the Nike Mags, the Fragment 1s. There are so many different crazy sneakers that he could wear that you literally could win. So if you want a chance to win Lil Yachty's stage-worn sneakers for yourself, meet Lil Yachty and get to go to Rolling Loud with a VIP ticket. Make sure to tune into the Whatnot live stream, which is linked in the top of the description below. It's happening at 5:30 p.m. Pacific time on Wednesday, March 1st. You guys should definitely check it out, and if you download Whatnot using my link, you get $10 towards your first purchase. But if you win the sneakers, you're not even gonna care about that. You're gonna have crazy $30,000 sneakers and have met Lil Yachty. So make sure to download Whatnot and check out the live stream. But with all that being said, let's get back into the video. The Nike Air Force 1 Low Tiffany & Co. 1837s officially release on March 7th for a retail price of $400. And yes, absolutely, that's a huge amount of money to pay for a pair of Air Force 1 Lows. However, there are some reasons as to why the shoe costs that much. Of course, one of those reasons is the fact that it's an official Tiffany collaboration, but there are some hits like some of the sterling silver on the back of the shoe and some of the materials used on the shoe that actually might justify that price. Well, okay, maybe not totally justify the price, but make it a bit more reasonable. And of course, if you want to grab a pair of the Tiffany Air Force 1 Lows early before their March 7th release, I've made sure to leave affiliate links through the description below and also through the YouTube shopping tab on this video. But unfortunately, if you want to grab a pair of the Tiffany Air Force 1 Lows, they're not going to be the easiest shoe to grab. First off, they're only releasing at Tier 0 accounts. Of course, they've got that $400 retail price, but they're also going to be incredibly limited. So while this shoe might be one of the best collaborations of 2023, it's also going to be one of the most limited sneakers of 2023, by far. But first, before we dive any deeper into the sneaker itself, let's first take a look at the packaging that this shoe comes in. It's incredible. So right off the bat, you'll notice that the box comes in Tiffany Blue, Pantone 1837, which is also the year that Tiffany was founded in New York City. It's a really cool tie-in there. And the box looks absolutely incredible. One detail that I did not notice until I took a closer look at the box is that the box is actually debossed with a bunch of tiny little Tiffany T logos. It creates this sort of textured pattern, which you can feel when you touch the box. And at first glance, it might just look like some sort of like, I don't know, rippled paper or something like that, but it's actually tiny Tiffany T's. It's super cool. On the bottom of the box, a part of the box that we usually never look at in these reviews, you've actually got the standard Nike text. However, this text is actually debossed in metallic silver, which looks absolutely incredible. In fact, I just really love the way that the Nike swooshes, all of the different Nike swooshes and logos reflect in the light. It looks so sick. Of course, on the front of the box, you've got this silver hit, which ties in with Tiffany silver, and then you've got the size tag on the other side of the box. This is the GOAT tag. I actually grabbed this shoe from GOAT for way more money than I should have paid, and as you can see, I wasn't even able to grab my size. I had to grab a size 8, and as you guys will see later on the video, I do actually try them on, but I had to take out the insole and they still fit very tight. But regardless, we grabbed a size 8. The official name of this collaboration is the Nike Air Force 1 1837, and the colorway is black multicolor. Not the most descriptive colorway in the world, but hey, you know what? I think we all understand what that means. But continuing on with the box, let's get to some more details, which I absolutely love. And the first is that on the inside of the box top, you've got Tiffany's logo printed in glossy white. Like, it's actually a high quality print, which is not something you usually get on the inside of Nike boxes, and it contrasts this bright orange really, really nicely. According to Tiffany and Nike, getting a pair of these sneakers and unboxing them is supposed to feel like getting that little Tiffany blue jewelry box and opening that up and finding a piece of jewelry. Obviously, the jewelry inside this box is supposed to be the sneakers, which was actually not too far off because they do have real silver on them, which is kind of crazy. But before we round off the box, I want to show you guys the paper inside the box, and I actually pulled it out because it's got all these really cool images of Air Force Ones and sterling silver and some Tiffany articles and things like that. It's a really, really cool box paper, and I think if you guys grab these shoes, it's definitely worth taking a look at and seeing all of the little details that are kind of hidden on this paper. It's really, really cool, and I love when Nike really takes pride in their packaging. It really makes the shoe feel that much more premium than a standard pair of Nike sneakers, which usually come in white paper or just no paper recently. But now getting back into the shoes themselves, I probably shouldn't have thrown them because they're very expensive. The shoe comes in this really beautiful black suede, and I can't overstate how nice this black suede is. Like, it's leaps and bounds ahead of any suede that they usually use on Nike sneakers. It's a genuinely premium feeling suede, and I love it. And I love that each one of these panels are actually finished rather than left raw, which makes it feel even that much more premium. They're sort of finished with this wax edge. I believe that's what it is. It comes in this really nice black, and it just makes the shoe feel like something that you'd buy at a department store rather than something that you buy at like Foot Locker. And actually, to be fair, you can't buy this at Foot Locker, so there you go. The suede even smells nice too. I mean, it still smells a little bit like glue, but not that much like glue. Not as much as it usually does. I should also say that there's like barely any glue stains on this sneaker. I mean, you can see a glue edge along the top of the midsole, which is pretty standard, especially on a black suede, which makes everything even more visible. But I mean, compared to most Nike sneakers, the quality control on this shoe seems to be incredible. I've only ever seen this one pair in person, so I can't speak to all of the other pairs out there, but I'm assuming for a $400 pair of shoes that's in collaboration with a brand like Tiffany, they probably take QC pretty seriously. At least I'd hope. Moving up on the shoe, you get to this black leather eye stay, which is sort of a matte leather finish, which I really love. It also feels really high quality, as you would expect. And of course, the lace holes are punched through this leather, and as you guys can see, the laces that come pre-started on this shoe or pre-laced on this shoe are these thick black rope laces. Now, it really does seem like rope laces are a trend when it comes to Dunks and Air Force Ones and things like that. And while yes, I do like the way that this looks, I would have preferred flat laces. The good news is they do actually give you 3 sets of flat laces inside the box. Now, the lace colors that you get inside the box are a white flat lace, a yellow flat lace, which apparently is supposed to symbolize the Tiffany yellow diamond found in 1874, which is kind of cool. Doesn't match the shoe, but it's a cool story behind the yellow. And then of course you get a Tiffany blue. Now, I'm actually genuinely surprised that the laces that came in the shoe were not Tiffany blue. I would have thought they would have done Tiffany blue rope laces, which I think more people would have liked, because one of the complaints that I've heard about this shoe is how simple it is, especially when compared to the non-official Tiffany collabs like the Tiffany Dunks. But personally, I might switch out to Tiffany laces if I were to get a pair of these in my size. I am definitely trying to grab a pair of these in my size, but we'll see what happens. All that to say though, you do get a lot of lace options inside the box, which is a good thing. But now let's get to the thing that's not so great about the laces, and that's the lace lock or lace doubre. Now, as you guys can see, the lace doubre or lace lock comes in black leather, which is pretty boring and pretty simple for a $400 pair of shoes. One thing I do like about this lace lock is that the edges are actually finished in that same black wax you find on the edges of the other parts of the shoe or the other panels of the shoe. But with Tiffany silver being such a huge thing, you'd think that the lace locks would come in silver and not in black leather. And to be fair, they do make, or they will make, Tiffany lace locks in silver, but you gotta buy them separately for hundreds of dollars. In fact, almost the same price as the shoe. And actually, speaking of that, Nike and Tiffany are also selling some accessories for the shoe that include the lace locks, a shoe horn, a shoe toothbrush. They're all made of sterling silver, and they're all very, very expensive, ranging from like $275 to $450 or something like that. It's insanely expensive for some silver accessories that you're not even gonna wear with the shoes, which is crazy to me. But if you wanna buy an accessory and the shoe, or maybe even all the accessories and the shoe, you're gonna be paying upwards of $600 to $1,000. It's crazy, especially when the shoe is probably gonna resell for $600 to $1,000. So pretty disappointed in that detail. I feel like that was just a shameless money grab. I feel like they could have added silver there, especially when you've got silver on the back of the shoe, but it is what it is. And honestly, you could probably just take the lace locks off your standard AF1s. It's not exactly the same, I mean, it's not silver, but it's not exactly the same sort of shininess as the silver on the back of the shoe, but you could put it on the front of the shoe and it would look similar. I'm sure you could find like fake ones on Amazon that are totally fine, that'll match the shoe perfectly. I just don't know why you'd spend that much money on an extra accessory that you're barely gonna see. So I don't know, I think it's crazy, but then again, if you're strapped for cash, you're probably not buying a $400 pair of shoes. So I guess the market is different in this price range. Then underneath the laces, you've got this nice black satin tongue, which is sort of shiny, creates some nice contrast with the matte suede on the upper of the shoe. And at the top of the tongue, you've got this really nice leather patch with the Tiffany logo debossed into it in metallic silver. I actually really love the way that that looks. It really makes this feel like a Tiffany shoe and not just a Nike collaboration. Like, this feels like a special edition Tiffany piece, more so than just a standard pair of footwear. Then moving inside the sneaker, you've got this super soft black leather sock liner, which feels really premium and really nice. I mean, it's very smooth, it's very soft. I'm not sure if it's gonna get hot over time, but then again, if you buy this pair of shoes, I'm not sure if you're thinking about getting hot. It's not really an athletic piece of footwear, it's more of a, I guess, accessory than anything else, but it's a nice detail and really makes the shoe feel that much more premium. Rounding off the inside of the shoe, you've got this Tiffany blue insole with the Nike Air logo printed in silver. It's actually a very thick print, you can feel it with your finger, and hopefully it will last over time. I mean, obviously Nike logos tend to wear off very quickly on all of Nike sneakers unless they're sublimated or something like that. In this case, because it's a different printing technique than they usually use, I have hope that it will last, but we'll just have to wait and see. Also, I just noticed the fabric underneath the insole comes in Tiffany blue as well. That's a super cool touch and may help with legit checking. I'm not sure. I think the fakes could probably do that pretty easily as well, but it's a nice detail. It just shows that they thought of everything when it comes to designing this shoe. But at this point, let's get into sizing and fit of the Tiffany Air Force 1 Lows. Now, as you guys know, I was not able to grab my size in this shoe. However, a friend of mine does have a size 8, and I compared to see if his size 8 with the insole out felt the same as this size 8 with the insole out, because I'm a size 9, and they did. I would say that this shoe fits pretty much true to size, which is good news if you're dropping $400 on a pair of shoes. Grab your standard Air Force 1 size and you should be good to go. I know that's not the most precise way to test sizing on a pair of shoes, but that's the best that I got. If you guys have any sizing comments, if you own a pair of these for yourself or something like that, let me know in the comment section down below, but from what I can tell, it seems like it fits true to size. Continuing back in the sneaker, you've got more of that black suede on the midfoot of the shoe and of course towards the heel of the shoe. And on top of that, you've got this beautiful Tiffany blue Nike swoosh that comes in this super high quality feeling leather. It also looks like they rolled the edge of the leather underneath the Nike swoosh so that the edges would be super clean. The stitching also looks very clean, as you would hope from a $400 pair of sneakers. But again, seriously, the QC on this shoe is incredible. Continuing around to the back of the shoe, you've got more of that really nice black leather on the top of the heel, and embroidered into that panel, you've got the Nike Air logo, which is actually embroidered very cleanly. And then just below that, you've got one of the marquee details on the shoe, and that's the silver accent on the heel. Now, some of the details that you'll notice on this hollow silver bar is that on the top, you've got NY, because that's where Tiffany was founded. You've got the Tiffany T just below that, and then you've got 925, which actually stands for 92.5%, which is the percentage of pure silver found in this piece of silver, 92.5%. The other 7.5% is copper. And then just below that, rounding off the silver bar, you've got the Tiffany & Co. logo. Now, from what I've heard, this bar actually changes sizes depending on the size of the shoe, so if you want to get a larger silver bar, hope that you have larger feet, because it'll get bigger with the size of the shoe. If you get a smaller size, you'll get a tiny bar. If you get a huge size, you'll get a bigger bar. The silver's not worth that much, but hey, if you want like a little bit more, maybe go a half size or a full size up. It's not worth it, but there you go. Then moving down on the shoe, you get to this black midsole and black outsole, and finally rounding off the bottom of the shoe, you'll notice that the black outsole is actually accented by these two Tiffany blue hits in these circles on the heel and on the forefoot of the shoe. So overall, should you get the Nike Air Force 1 Low Tiffany 1837? Well, in my opinion, if you have the money, especially if you can get it for retail, and if you love the history behind Tiffany and you love crazy collaborations, then absolutely get this shoe. The thing I love about this sneaker the most is that even though they could have gone with a crazy colorway, maybe made the entire top of the shoe a Tiffany color, they kept it really subtle and really simple and made it a very wearable sneaker. Like, I know for a lot of people, they're just like, that's a black Air Force 1 Low with a Tiffany swoosh. It's not that exciting. But honestly, when it comes to high-end goods, this feels a lot more high-end because it's not overdone. It's not too crazy. It's not too out there. It feels like a very high quality piece, and that's the main reason why I love this shoe, because it genuinely feels like it might be worth the $400. Is it? I don't know. I don't know how much it costs to actually make this shoe. I would assume probably less than half of that price, but at the same time, I don't know. And I think for sneakerheads out there who are fans of sneaker history and love crazy, interesting pieces, this is a must cop. This is one of those shoes that 10 years down the road, people will remember because it's a collaboration between Nike and Tiffany, a collaboration that no one really ever thought would happen. Will this be the last Tiffany-Nike collaboration? I doubt it. I'm sure they'll come out with more sneakers in the future, especially because this shoe is going to be insanely popular, but it's the first, which makes it, in my opinion, the most exciting. But hey, that pretty much wraps up the video for today. Thank you all so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts on this shoe in the comment section down below, and I will see you all in the next one.